you know, I got to do this the old school way, black screen. So, but nevertheless, so according to Oscar De La Hoya, and then I'm doing my own research, it appears what we first thought, and then they tried to downplay it and say that it wasn't true. It appears what we thought in the first place about Amon Khalif being born a man, and that it wasn't a man, that it was a genetically born female that had male hormones, which I thought was absolutely absurd. Turned out that it was a genetically born man. And now, because this appears to be brewing to be a scandal, and people are going to pick this up, it appears that the Olympics gave those women the shaft, and that basically there were people that knew that this was a genetically born man. And keep in mind, Amon Khalif failed at least 2 gender identity tests. You know why? Because it wasn't the gender that it was trying to pass off as, that it was a dude. It was a Jawanna man. And a lot of times people are scared to touch these type of subjects because they're worried about backlash, getting called phobic and all that stuff. And no. There's the only thing that's going on is right and wrong. And those genetically born women did wrong, and they got screwed. That person could have killed one of those women. And for what reason they tried to sneak this person in the Olympics, posing as a woman to win a gold medal, because I guess she wasn't good enough as a man. So now it poses the question, when those photos were popping up, makes you wonder how legit those photos were. Because, they do have the technology to doctor photos, like they doctored, Kamala Harris, being a former McDonald's employee, come to find out that wasn't true. That's just crazy. That's just crazy that you got this kind of stuff going around. And, Donald Trump said that he was going to put a stop to this. And the thing is, when you speak out against these subjects, people try to shame you. They try to bully you. And a lot of times that's not what the case. Well, I'm not finna be bullied. And I'm not finna be harassed. And I'm not finna be labeled transphobic or homophobic or none of that. Because that's complete bullshit. So I'm not supposed to speak on something that's wrong, where somebody did wrong, and then this person received a gold medal for basically cheating and committing forgery and fraud. Amon Khalif should be immediately ordered to give back that gold medal. And that's real talk. And then possibly brought up on charges for fraud and assault. And then whoever is behind this, they need to be brought up on fraud and assault charges. So now it all makes sense why they don't want to have the Olympics going forward, and that the Olympics will not feature boxing, amateur boxing. That is crazy. That is crazy. And then you had these know-it-alls acting like they knew what was going on. And I just sat back and said, something not right about this. How do you fail a gender identity test, not once but twice. And then you had everybody trying to explain what the case was. And then they would say, oh, where this person from? They don't allow that. Well, obviously they did. Or must be the one that got through the cracks. Because apparently they got the person's paperwork. And saying that Amon Khalif was born a male. Is a male. And was competing as a female. That got to be the most cowardly thing I ever seen in my life. This is straight up Jawanna man of the Olympics in boxing. This isn't basketball like that movie. You were talking about a combat sport where one punch, one kick, you could like do serious damage to somebody. So now, and the funny thing was, they made the lady in question that quit after like maybe 30 seconds. She got ridiculed. She was forced to apologize when all along she was right. All along she was right. And then you had anybody that spoke out against you. Oh, you just have something against it. No, we don't. I've said this before. If they want to start a league for transgender people, that's fine. But don't sit up there trying to get into the NFL posing as a man when you were born a woman or vice versa. And don't be trying to box as a woman when you were born a man. Everybody can have a lane. I don't act like, no, for real. But I'm just tired of the bullying and when people try to make it look like that you're against something. Like you don't have a choice, but they always do that. It just makes me think about what God did to Genuine. When Genuine was on that show and that transgender person tried to kiss him, and instead of them coming after the transgender person for trying to kiss Genuine, when Genuine was pushing the person off, when he said, hey, I wouldn't go out with a transgender woman because I'm a straight male. And then when you had that person trying to kiss Genuine got attacked, got called transphobic and all that BS. When he had a right to say that's not his preference. So now a black man don't have the right to say what he like. And that's was the beginning of straight shaming. And that word that you started to see floating around, taki. When that clout chaser basically put out false information, a flat out lie that this person had a romantic relationship with Chingy, which turned out to be a lie, and the person admitted, and I'm not going to say this person's name because they are a clout-chasing extremist, but you know who I'm talking about. And don't say this individual's name in the comment section, please, because that's giving that person what they want, which is publicity. Admitted that they lied, and Chingy's career was pretty much ruined. And I seen this person on the interview talking about how they used to fool men into like, you know, knocking it down from the back. Would lie and say that, you know, they were spotting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised that person is still around. And I'm not wishing anything happened, but that's not cool at all. That is straight deception. Like, I'm not finna be one of them dudes that's scared to talk about these type of situations and type of subject matter because people are worried about backlash. How am I gonna get backlash when I'm telling the absolute truth? That person had no business getting in the ring posing as a woman when they knew they wasn't a woman. And then when the person ended up quitting after like 30 seconds, because she was right all along, and then they made her feel I mean, they went after her. She was forced to apologize, and come to find out she was right all along. I would like to know who's behind this. Amon Khalif should be immediately ordered to give back those medals. Immediately. Because there's some straight deceptive stuff. That was straight fraud, and that was straight assault. They should throw the book at this person. They should throw the book at this person. This person should be banned from competing in all sports pertaining to boxing. Should never be allowed to become pro. But and the funny thing is, as punishment, they should put this person in the ring with an actual male boxer. Put this person in the ring with Arthur Bet. Nah. That's a homicide. Everybody need to be sued. This is a straight up snap. Yeah. Hey, Sean, if you think I'm lying, go to Instagram. Go to Oscar De La Hoya's Clapback Thursday. You also can see the footage on Aki TV, where he basically showed the footage, and I sent the footage to some people I know. This is this is appalling, and it's sad that they did that to them women. So it also proves something else that we've been saying. In all likelihood, a genetically born male will always prevail as far as sports, as far as physical and combat sports go in most cases. I'm talking about this woman got to be one of them, trained in, what I'm saying, trained in Siberia or something for in the wilderness. For I'm talking about trained under those type of conditions. Trained in Mongolia with the Shaolin monks that just so highly trained that have the type of skills where they could just basically take somebody out using a thumb. But in all likelihood, the guy is going to prevail. The man is going to prevail in probably 9 out of 10 cases. That's just real talk. And we got to stop playing these games that men and women are equal. Just like there are certain things that women are born to do better than men, there are things that men are born to do better than women. And we got to stop playing these games about we're equal. And no, we're not. We're not. God didn't want it that way. He put women here to be able to do certain things, and he put men here to do certain things. But what happened with those women? That's cold. Who's responsible for this? But it happened in Paris. Paris had a very questionable, open and closing ceremony to begin with. There was some weirdo stuff going on in Paris anyway with the Olympics, if you catch my drift. So I just think that's crazy, and I'm just very sad that they actually allow something like that to happen. What are we coming to? What direction are we going? Is there anything sacred? Does anything goes now? Are we just headed to the point to where you can just do whatever the fuck you want to do now? Is that where we going? Sure seems like it. And that's just crazy. That's just crazy that they allowed that to go on. And all the people that were talking about this, You had these defenders, these Amon Khalif defenders. Well, you know what the case is. This person just got male, high levels of male testosterone, but they were born. And I was thinking to myself, how do you know? How do you know? And then you heard the other, justification. Oh, well, where this person is from, they don't play that stuff. Well, obviously they play something. You always got these. Well, here's the thing. I'm not pandering to nothing, especially something like that. It's just wrong. And what God did was just wrong. You even had it. Listen, Caitlyn Jenner said out of their own mouth. And the person formerly known as Bruce Jenner said out of his, his own mouth that transgender people should not be competing in sports where it's designed for genetically born men to go against genetically born men, and genetically born women are supposed to go against genetically born women. Now, if that person can say that, and to a certain degree, the Skittles community kind of like ostracized, Caitlyn Jenner because that person wouldn't conform, pretty much. So they were ostracized and called a traitor and all that kind of stuff, which don't make no sense. Like, how are you a traitor when you basically speaking facts? Make that make sense. I need for somebody to make that make sense. How are you some kind of traitor when you basically telling the truth that shouldn't be going on? When I say everybody involved should possibly face charges, anybody that knew and part of this cover up and part of this, because this is a real scandal. And I don't want to hear this stuff. Well, it got did because they don't have a sports league that no, shouldn't have did it. Nobody don't want to hear them kind of excuses. Nobody don't want to hear that justification. Nobody don't want to hear that self-righteous BS. Woe with us. We're the victims. Everybody is against us. Nah, that's not the case. That's not the case. What the case is that fraud was committed. Paperwork was forged. A person was allowed to compete as a certain classification that it really wasn't. And that's all it comes, and that's all it comes down to. Straight to the facts. That's where I'm going. It's clear as day. It's as clear as night and day. No in between. That was just crazy. That was crazy when it's been confirmed. So hopefully a lot of people have the guts to talk about this kind of stuff, because a lot of people are scared to go a certain direction when it pertains to stuff like this because they worried about backlash. Well, like I said before, you can't get mad at a person that's telling the truth. But anyway, I'll be back with more later on. This your boy Town. I'm out.